Hello and welcome to another edition of Brummywood Yammywood. Now, if you like your movies big, bold and brash, well, you're in the right place this week. In a moment, we'll be taking a look at some of the new films showing at West Midlands cinemas. But first, to one of the most talked about movie events of the year. The Comic Con event in San Diego has become the #1 place to unleash exclusive teaser footage of upcoming big blockbusters. And this month's event was no exception. Topping the bill was a chance to hear from the cast of Star Wars Episode 7 and, more importantly, to see nearly 4 minutes of exclusive footage from the new movie. But you didn't need to fly all the way to America's West Coast because Brummywood Yammywood has got it for you, right here, right now. May the Force be with you.
Real sets, practical effects.
You've been here, but you don't know this story.
Nothing's changed, really. I mean, everything's changed, but nothing's changed. That's the way you want it to be, really. To see the way the technology has evolved, and yet keeping one foot in the pre-digital world.
It couldn't be more exciting. It's still surreal.
We are here on day 1 of Star Wars Episode 7.
You're here.
How incredible is that?
I can die now.
All right.
My whole life has led to this moment. I'm in heaven.
I think we've worn the suit out probably quicker than we expected because every time you meet someone, they just want to hug it.
Getting back to the old days, the old ways of doing things.
JJ's trying to make sure these movies have a physicality to them. We truly are out in a desert, a real desert.
Star Wars. I burned for Star Wars.
And I'm just going to bring this character to life.
You don't get to build an X-Wing every day or a Millennium Falcon. Every day I come to work smiling.
Energy and action!
You have to pause, take a breath, slow down, and really not freak out.
I was in the same room as all these legends and with all these new people who I'm sure will go on to be legends themselves.
You know, it's being done with such love and such enthusiasm from everybody, and I think that you'll be able to feel that coming off the screen.
It means so much to so many people.
You just know what it's going to be like in the cinema.
Star Wars is an important part of everyone's history. It's a beautiful thing to actually be involved in it.
When we carried out a poll on Big Centre TV earlier this year, Star Wars Episode 7 was named the most anticipated movie of 2015. Not too long to wait now, it arrives at our cinemas in December. But Star Wars wasn't the only big talking point at Comic Con. Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck will be squaring up shortly in Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, where Wonder Woman's also thrown into the mix for good measure. Here's the first full cinematic trailer for that movie, which was also premiered at Comic Con.
Today is a day for truth. The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands for. That kind of power is very dangerous. Let the record show that this committee holds him responsible.
That's how it starts. The fever. The rage that turns good men cruel.
This Bat vigilante is like a one-man reign of terror.
You don't get to decide what the right thing is. Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
This means something. It's all some people have. It's all that gives them hope.
People hate what they don't understand. Be their hero, Clark. Be their angel. Be their monument. Be anything they need you to be. Or be none of it. You don't owe this world a thing. You never did.
Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? The devils don't come from hell beneath us. They come from the sky.
20 years in Gotham, how many good guys are left? How many stayed that way? He has the power to wipe out the entire human race. And we have to destroy him.
You're gonna go to war. He is not our enemy.
Black and blue. God versus man. Day versus night. The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming.
So that's all for the future, but what about right now? Well, one film that's playing at the moment is the eagerly awaited reboot of the Terminator franchise, Terminator Genesis. Soldier Kyle Reese, played this time by Jay Courtney, gets sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor from a shape-shifting T-1000. And thanks to the vagaries of time travel, manages to bring Arnold Schwarzenegger face to face with his younger self. So who better to give us their verdict on this film than the man who started the franchise more than 30 years ago, James Cameron.
I had no idea what to expect sitting down. I wasn't involved in the making of the film. I didn't direct it, I didn't write it. I'm just a fanboy. So I'm in a dark theater, movie starts.
The machine sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor.
And I start to see things I recognize. It's being very respectful of the first two films.
Nice night for a walk, eh?
Your clothes. Give them to me. Now.
And then all of a sudden, it just swerves.
I've been waiting for you.
And now I'm going on a journey. I feel like the franchise has been reinvigorated, like this is a renaissance.
Come with me if you want to live. Everything's changed.
If you look at why the films became classics, they had characters that you like.
The Terminator.
It is nice to meet you.
I've been trying to teach him to blend in. I know it needs work.
The new film, which in my mind I think of as the third film, we see Arnold take the character even farther. Everybody responds to Sarah Connor.
Nice try.
For women, I think she represents a kind of empowerment. And yet there's a vulnerability there, because that strength comes at a price.
John.
Hi, Mom.
How can you be here?
We went from, in the first film, the Terminator being the worst badass in history, to in the second film, him being almost a father figure.
What are you doing?
John! The idea of taking John Connor and flipping him to the bad guy.
What have they done to my son?
Survival was what you taught me. It's pretty cool because you got to riff against expectation. It's all about the twists.
I'm not machine, not man, I'm more.
If you like the Terminator films,
I'll be back.
you're gonna love this movie.
After the break, we'll take a look at the latest superhero adventure Ant-Man and also reveal the inside story behind the new horror tale, The Gallows. Welcome back. Now, barely a week seems to go by these days without the release of some new superhero movie, and the latest one off the taxi rank is Ant-Man. After the bombastic, no-holds-barred action of the Avengers movies, it's a sort of refreshing change to see a superhero tale that gives a little bit more breathing space for some deadpan humour and just a little bit of character. Paul Rudd plays a cat burglar who vows to go straight after being released from prison, but he's short of cash and he ends up being talked into one last job. And yes, you've guessed it, he gets caught and slung back into the cells. Along comes a mysterious inventor, played by Michael Douglas, who offers him a way out. All he's got to do is agree to wear a superhero outfit that shrinks the wearer at the touch of a button.
Scott, I've been watching you for a while now. You're different. Now, don't let anyone tell you that you have nothing to offer. Second chances don't come around all that often. I suggest you take a really close look at it. This is your chance to earn that look in your daughter's eyes. To become the hero that she already thinks you are. It's not about saving our world. It's about saving theirs. Scott, I need you to be the Ant-Man.
Huh.
One question. Is it too late to change the name?
Well, Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly, who plays the inventor's daughter, are actually really watchable in this, and while it might not be quite as explosive as some of the other Marvel franchises, there's still plenty of well-choreographed action. Ant-Man is now showing right across the West Midlands. Also new this week is a film which borrows heavily from the tricks which were first pioneered by the Blair Witch Project several years ago now. It's called The Gallows. Now, 20 years after an accident during a school play resulted in someone's death, students decide they're going to resurrect the failed stage production in a misguided attempt to honour the anniversary of that tragedy. Only, of course, to discover that some things would have been better left alone. Here's a look behind the scenes.
Hey guys, Lon Strickland here from Weirdcast. As some of you may know, Warner Brothers has taken a significant interest in machinima recently, and they're letting us in on some really cool new projects they have in their pipeline. They just sent over an exclusive new interview from their new horror film, The Gallows, from New Line Cinema, and a clip from the movie as well. This movie looks scary as hell, and I'm also really excited for the filmmakers who were given this amazing opportunity to rework their movie and have it released theatrically. Pretty much a dream come true scenario for any aspiring filmmaker out there. So check this out and get inspired.
Let's do what we came here for. Can I get some stealth, please? This place is super creepy at night. Oh! What is that?
Gallows, scene 101, take one.
Hi, I'm Jason from Blumhouse, and this is Chris and Travis from Tremendum, and they are the writer, director, craft service, casters, special effects artists that made The Gallows. So how did it start? I want to get more into how The Gallows came about. We actually took
$250 and went and shot a movie trailer. We used that to seek funds and investment, and it worked. And then we had a completed film less than 6 months later.
Why did you decide to make a found footage versus traditionally shot film?
Yeah, what the heck were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
Remember when we started this? It was 2011.
Found footage was a...
It was a big deal back then.
It was where it was at.
We had our little business plan.
Sure.
And it had like Open Water, Cloverfield, Blair Witch, and of course, Paranormal Activity. Our pitch was, we're gonna go in and we're gonna pick up where that left off, and we're gonna create this, we're gonna reinvigorate the genre. Little did we know that we were gonna end up, with the masters.
Any favorite scary movies out there?
I really drew a lot of inspiration from John Carpenter's stuff, Wes Craven. I love the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Michael Myers, and some of the older, scary movies I really liked.
Okay, you finished the first version of the movie. What happens next?
We cut a trailer.
Right.
We put it online, and it started getting passed around. This is when we started getting calls from people, and one of those calls was from Dean Schneider at 360. And he said, I saw the trailer, looks cool. Would you guys mind coming down? We're also interested in signing you guys as clients. And then the first order of business was to get it to you. And we did a small screening at the lot.
You kind of snuck into the back.
You
all
snuck in.
incognito.
Yes, well, I like to be undercover.
And the screening went well. You guys wanted to get on board. You wanted to help us take this thing and make it theater worthy.
That old line.
Yeah.
We sat in the car for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, kind of just wrapping our brains around what you said. And it was
some soul searching.
It was about, hey, that could take another 6 months.
Another
it could
year
take
even.
more time and more, we knew what we put into it.
Right.
And after thinking about that, we said, we want to make this movie, we want to get worldwide theatrical release, just like Paranormal did, just like Blair Witch did, just like these other movies did, and we want to do it.
Yeah. So then what happened?
We shot a bunch of new stuff, but a lot of the scenes from the original movie stayed in. It was probably about another year's worth of work at least. And then we had the distributor screening. Big crowd, 300 people there, and then all the distributors were represented, and that went really well. And that night we got an email from New Line Cinema, Dave Neustadter. And he was just like, hey, what's the story on this movie? I want to know more.
And here we are today. So given the fact that you, somehow you guys figured out how to go from sneaking on the lot to being invited, what would be your advice to people who are in film school now?
I would just say, just keep making stuff. I mean, with technology these days, just keep shooting, keep making content, have fun with it, do whatever you're passionate about.
What about you, Travis? What do you think?
For me, I'm all about, if you want something to happen, don't rely on anyone to make it happen for you. Go make it happen yourself.
Right. You can complain about not having money or resources, but I mean, look at us. When we drove down to do these meetings, we would sleep in the van. I mean, like the Chevy Astro van was not just our transportation, but it was like our hotel.
Here we are at the great Warner Brothers Studios, wrapping up. You guys have the littlest movie of the year at the biggest movie company in the world.
Look, it's really a humbling thing, and we can't describe it. I mean, it truly is an awesome experience to be here and to be right here.
To be under that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Great.
But yeah, we're excited about it, and we hope everyone comes out to see The Gallows on July 10th.
Go see The Gallows,
July
people.
10th, everybody.
It's Charlie.
He's real.
Every door's locked. I'm getting us out of here. Hey, Charlie!
Don't say his name!
Don't say his name! Charlie, Charlie, please!
You shouldn't say that name. He's gonna find us.
The Gallows is a solid, if slightly forgettable, addition to the found footage series of films, and as usual, you can rip gaping holes in the logic of the rather predictable script if you want to. Well, that's almost all we've got time for on Brummywood Yammywood this week. Next week, we'll be chatting with a Birmingham director who's in the middle of filming his latest thriller on a local farm. But to continue with this week's big-budget fantasy theme, we'll play you out with a sneak peek at the latest reinvention of the Peter Pan story, called quite simply Pan. We'll see you next week.
Peter, it's your file. Will you read it? It's from your mum.
My dearest Peter, I long for the day that I can come back for you and explain everything. You are extraordinary, more than you can imagine. I promise that you will see me again.
In this world, or another.
Or another.
Welcome to Neverland!
This is not the end of me. This is the beginning. This is not the end of me. This is the beginning. This is not.
If I'm gonna trust you, I need to know your name.
It's Hook. The name's James Hook.
The little one, he wears the pan.
The Pan is our tribe's bravest warrior.
Well. The princess, I presume.
Oh, well, I'm actually just a minor, but I appreciate the compliment.
Bishop.
Are you insane?
Have you come to get me, Peter?
I don't believe in bedtime stories.